Hey, what's up, locker room? I am back home now. I left the casino. Had a great time. Great time at that appearance. But I'm home after church. Just want to talk about that game right quick before I go get on the airplane and head to LA for the premiere of the documentary. But let me tell you guys about yesterday when the Rams beat the Cowboys 31-21 in the first preseason game. And we'll do a lot of commentary on it, and everybody will, because that's all we're waiting on. We're waiting on information to try to determine a situation. That's what analyzations are. That's what analyzation is. That's what I do. I get information, and I determine a situation by seeing what's happening, drawing on my experience and knowledge about things, and then try to assess things as we move forward. And let me tell you something, just for me, guys, especially now, I'm gonna say this, and then we'll talk about things for a minute. You got to throw out the first preseason game. It's no bearing of anything, because now nobody gets to work, and the work is so shifted. It used to be everybody went into camp, they were already in great shape. You got in shape to go to camp because we were going to be hitting in camp. Now these guys, they go to camp to get in shape. That first game is literally nothing. I saw guys huffing and puffing, just trying to breathe out there. So it's hard to get a determining factor on talent when it's so scattered on conditioning all across the NFL, because it's just the first game. And these guys don't work like Jimmy worked us. So they don't, they work themselves into shape over the preseason. So I threw out the first game, but it's still knowledge. It's still information that you have to take in. Like we know right now what we saw yesterday is, okay, those weren't the main players that were going to be on the field on Sunday. But what we did see was some passes being given up on the secondary and some time being given to the quarterback of the Rams. And then those plays being made up the field, bums away in some sense. Okay, I take that stuff because that wasn't Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and Puka Nacua. You had their second and third guys, and they got our second and third guys, and they were running right by those guys. So yeah, and I understand. That's what I'm saying. You're going against a guy like Sean McVay, who's just a brilliant guy. I expected this defense to not be ready for this brilliant guy, even in the preseason and the way he called plays. I expected them not to be ready. So that's not a big thing for me to see that. But it is a prelude to what could happen if those two dudes don't be on the football field. The two dudes I'm talking about is Trayvon Diggs and Michael Parsons. We got it in a preseason game, but I want you to extrapolate in your mind. That's what it's going to be like in a regular season game if you don't got Michael Parsons to get to the quarterback or Trayvon Diggs to get to the wide receiver and knock down that football. I'm just letting you know that's what I'm taking from that game yesterday. It's all you can take because he's a brilliant play caller. And it was Shotty's first game. I'm sure you're worried about the logistics of everything, managing everything. And yeah, it wasn't game plan for game plan. So we could throw that out. Now, the second game, I think, gives me more information because, okay, you should be getting in a better situation, a better play, especially even if the backups. The Rams' backups look good. They were playing hard. So, this will be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to watch. I can't wait to see the second game. I'm not going into Milton, or I'm not bothering Milton. The only thing I said about Joe Milton is, man, the dude, he's athletic, very athletic. But one time, man, he kind of lowered his shoulder and went, dude, you can't be doing that. You know, if they're going to decide and try to develop you, they're not just talking about developing shoulders down and your ability to throw a football or run a football. They got to develop your shoulders up, and you got to understand you're the quarterback. You're the quarterback. You're not the fullback. You don't get in a muncho battle with people and try to run them over with your right shoulder. That's your money maker. You know, you don't do that. So there's a lot of work to do there. There's a lot of work to do. I don't even know how to grade it. Wouldn't be a good grade on the first game, but I'm giving leeway because of how guys train now in the NFL. And let's go look forward to game 2 to see and make more of an assessment to what we have. This does worry me because, you know, I want those other guys, second and 13 guys, to play with their hair on fire like we got to prove to other guys that we belong on the field. That's what I got out of the Rams, but not out of the Cowboys. Still, though, guys, mean for tomorrow, Monday, I'll be in LA. All I want to see is what is going to be the conversation. You know, Shedeur Sanders and the way he played. I don't know if people, they'll still draw from it, but they won't draw a whole bunch from the Cowboys losing in the preseason opener like that. But those will be the conversations. Now, I'm going to tell you how some people should place this conversation. And honestly, because I had the appearance last night and I went to church this morning, I haven't had a chance to rewatch it. I'm going to watch the Tennessee Titans game on the airplane. I'll rewatch it on the app, and just because I want to break, I'll watch every throw from Cam Ward and what's going to happen. Because Cam Ward was definitely a number 1 pick. Definitely a number 1 pick. And what we're talking about is Shedeur Sanders. And people are going to put these two, if they are smart in analysis, because Shedeur Sanders' play says he belongs somewhere better than a 5th round pick. Now the determining factor is, where does he belong? We already recognize that he got shaded. That was not a 5th rounder in his first game. And you saw a first pick in his first game. People will compare those two plays to determine where Shedeur, from that one little information, one little game, that little bit of information, or where Shedeur, should he have been drafted? Should he have been drafted? Even if you say he should, Cam Ward is a number 1 quarterback in the draft. He should have been drafted number 1. Even if you say that, you can't say, when you do a comparative analysis of the whole week 1 situation, at least Shedeur Sanders should have been drafted number 2. When you do those comparative analysis, you'll come out with that assessment. Should have been like what we talked about. Cam Ward at 1. Shedeur Sanders at 2. That's the argument that everybody's going to be debating for the near future of Shedeur Sanders. And since we only have 1 week of information, I want everybody speaking from the standpoint, Shedeur 1, the other side 0. Because he won week 1. On all places, in all spaces.